Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the extraordinary is just a click away. Dare to discover.
Welcome to this edition of the Gateway Podcast. I'm your host, C.L. Thomas. Tonight, it's just me. I'm going to discuss some of my desert adventures since living on the West Coast here in the Mojave Desert. But before we get into that, you've been listening to Sean Callie on Into the Night right here on United Public Radio Network 107.7 FM. His show comes on again on Sunday at the same time. And after this show tonight is Paratruth with Eric and Justin. It's just a great lineup here on the station. It is currently 71 degrees here in the valley. This weekend, the Mojave Desert, we're supposed to see highs of 82, but I'm not going to be here. I'm going to New Orleans, so I'll get to miss that. I hope everyone is well out there. Hi, Heidi. How are you? I do have a special person here with me tonight, Sean Callie. How are you doing, Sean?
Hi.
He's kind of a surprise. How are you doing, Mish? So this is my first time doing this with no guest. I don't really consider Sean a guest anymore. He's kind of more of a co-host. So he's kind of here just for moral support. I'm actually quite shy as a person, but we'll see if I can do this. So, Sean, you do this all the time, and I don't know how you just carry on a conversation by yourself.
Well, the way I do it, honestly, if you want to know, how I do it is like I'm talking, when I do talk, I'm talking to Heidi, I'm talking to Mish, I'm talking to you, you know? It's like they're in front of me, and I just start talking about it, you know what I mean? Talking to them, and then I just keep going. And don't forget I'm Irish, too, so I like to talk a lot. You know, this is talk. I really don't do too much talking. Yeah, I like to talk.
I like to talk too, but not when I'm having a one-person conversation. So I did have a guest on. I was going to have a guest tonight, and he was the owner of the Ouija board museum up near Boston, Massachusetts, but he had to cancel due to illness. And I just couldn't find anybody to take on this slot. So I thought I could discuss some of my desert adventures because people seem to be interested in the haunted desert. So I picked out 3 locations. I was going to show some slides and kind of talk a little bit about doing that. So I don't know.
I'm helping you out here. I'm helping you out.
Yes, I know. So
hey,
I don't know.
Mish, do me a favor. Go and share this stuff out. Share the show out, please. Share this show out, please.
Yeah, it's hard to have commenters on the backside like you guys do. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but the desert is like one of the strangest places I've ever been. Have you ever been out here at all, Sean?
I was in Fallon, Nevada when I was in the military. When I was in the Navy, I was 2 weeks in Fallon, Nevada for Charles. I belonged to an A7 Corsair Squadron, and that's where they go, and they bomb things out in the desert.
They do a lot of that out here. They sure do. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking out into that vast stretch of desert, the wilderness for us, it's not like the rest of the country, right? So we don't have trees and the things that you would typically associate with being spooky. But the desert is a spooky place. When you're looking out into a vast emptiness like that, first of all, it fills you with, I don't want to say dread, but there's a feeling of emptiness that just kind of sweeps over you when you're looking at that much wasteland. But then the other thing is, as soon as that sun sets at nighttime, it gets extremely dark. Like you can't really see in front of you very far. It's just a different kind of spooky, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain.
Well, do the rattlesnakes come out at night?
No, they don't. So rattlesnakes only come out when it's 80 degrees and higher. So when the sun starts going down, this is a lot of what a lot of people don't realize in the well, except for August, it stops happening. But once that sun starts going down, the temperature drops drastically. So we'll have like a 30, sometimes 40-degree temperature drop at night. Mm-hmm. Like today, it was 71 degrees, but tonight it'll be like in the 40s. So it's real quick.
There's a lot of scorpions out there, aren't there?
There is, and they're even in my house.
Oh, shit. Watch out for Loki, man.
Yeah, they're even in my house. But there's not a lot of light pollution here. And did you know that up around where you were, up around Area 51 and around the Great Basin, it's some of the darkest areas in the world because there's literally no light pollution.
Interesting.
And the desert has cryptoids. We have giant insects that are spiritual. We have thunderbirds. We have aliens. We have elementals. Just all sorts of things. So it's very interesting every time.
Thank you, Heidi. What kind of elementals do you have there?
Well, we don't know yet. So I talked to a lot of Native Americans about this that live in the area, and they say that, and this is one of the things I was going to talk about tonight, they say that in order to protect their land, because the land was taken from them during the 19th century and a little earlier around the Spanish Trail, that they called up these land spirits to kind of protect their history, their ancestors' history, but also so that no one else can use the land except for them, which is an interesting concept because a lot of the ghost towns and things are now ghost towns. So it's just interesting.
So are there ghosts in the ghost town?
There are. There's a lot of ghosts.
It's a dumb question.
There's a lot of ghosts. Some of the stuff I was going to show tonight has some EVPs in it that I was going to share. But
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. How are you? Heidi says, I love exploring old abandoned mining towns. Yes, me too. So I guess I should get into this. So what I thought I was going to do tonight is there's 3 places that I was going to discuss. One of them is a ghost town. Another one is kind of modern day. And it's some guy just built it in 2017. And then the other place is kind of like it's not a roadside attraction, but just kind of like a highway kind of thing. So the first place is a mining town called Delamar. And it was what really started desert adventures for me. I started out photographing desert ruins and ghost towns and things like that. And so what I would do is I would look on Google Maps and look at, you can see on Google Maps where structures are. So I would use it to find where old structures are. And one of them came up as Delamar, and there's about 50 stone foundations left, along with a bunch of tin and things like that, just scattered on this mountain way up in the high desert. And it turned out when I went up there, it was started in 1890s as a mining camp. And then this guy named Joseph Lamar, which is where you get Delamar, he started a big mine up there, and it ended up being a lot of gold that they pulled out, like millions of dollars they pulled out of this hillside. But what was happening was the silica dust that they would crunch up quartz to get the gold flakes out of. That's what I was telling you a couple days ago, Sean. And what's happening was the people would breathe that stuff in, and then they would die. So they call it the Widowmaker mine. And a couple years later, they tried to sue the guy who started it, the Delamar guy, but he packed his bags and pretty much left town. It's kind of an evil thing to do. But before I even got into the mine, yeah, let me just show you the slides real quick. Let me see if I can do this.
It's good seeing you too, Donna. That's creepy shit. That's creepy.
All right, so on my way to this mine, there was a little baby horse. There's like this dirt road that goes miles and miles down up the mountainside to get to it. And this little baby colt had circled my car and made my car stop. And when I looked, there was no mother or anything to this baby colt. There was a Joshua tree with there was 5 dolls all around this Joshua tree. And that's a picture of the Joshua tree. And of course I was up there for photography, so that's why I have all these wonderful pictures. But these dolls, they had like their eyes burned out, like this one was. Its mouth is burned out. This one, his stomach or something is ripped open, his chest area. And it was shoved with like an organic material, which I'll show you that in a second. The feet were all bound up on each one of these. This one here, you can imagine what's going on there.
Who now would, in their right mind, would want to do something? Oh my God, they're crazy.
So there was organic material kind of stuffed in these dolls, and just a couple of feet away from where all of this was, there was this. So I'm kind of assuming that maybe whoever mutilated those dolls might have taken some of the organic material from whatever this was, a cattle or something like that.
Michael Anthony, what's up, Michael? Good to see you, brother. He wants to know, do you believe in Tommy knockers? I do. What do you? And that is directed at you. Do you believe in the Tommy knockers?
I do believe in Tommy knockers. There's an old story up in Boulder City about Tommy knockers with the miners in that were building the. There were miners, and then there were people that were building the dam there, and they all claimed to have heard Tommy knockers. And there's actually a restaurant there that serves food that the miners would have eaten that talk about Tommy knockers and things. So the dolls, though, Sean, after I left that place, I had a lot of bad dreams and things like that. And I had to have a Native American actually do a cleansing for me. And he says that this area with the dolls was, it's actually a spell, like a witchcraft spell that I walked into that was created by a Native American against somebody else. So
Really?
It's definitely dark magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Donna was saying. Evil medicine, yeah. And
Yeah.
Michael says dark religious beliefs.
So let's see here. Heidi says, "Oh my, I got the vibe from looking Yeah, I had to do a lot of cleansing. I think I did 2 Native American cleansings from a real guy that did that. Hi, Nancy. She's my neighbor. How are you doing?
Oh, Nancy, pleasure to meet you.
So anyhow,
So
we'll
that's
continue.
a cow skeleton there?
Yes, that's a cow skeleton, and that was like really close to where those dolls were. So I think this is what I think, and this is what the Native American a chief had told me, that he thought there was a sacrifice of the cow. Some of that material was stuffed into the dolls as kind of giving to the spirit in order for that spirit to do their bidding. Is the way I understand it.
Huh. Yeah, well, Donna says that they were binding somewhat. And that's
Yeah,
possible. But you did say there was a cult that circled your car?
there was. Yeah, the whole day was really weird. So a baby colt, as I was driving up the mountain, it's like a little wagon dirt road that goes all the way up about, I think it's almost 30 miles in from the highway. And this colt out of nowhere just comes out of the Joshua Tree Forest and starts circling my car. And so I had to pull over because I didn't know what was wrong with this horse. And so as soon as I got out of my car, this baby colt, and I have a video of this. If you go to my Instagram, it's under my highlights. There's a video of this. The horse, you'll see it. As soon as I call out to it, it shoots off down the road. And I'm like, what was that? I'm just standing there going, what was that about? And then I look, and there was these dolls. So it was almost as if it was stopping me to notice this for whatever reason.
Do you think maybe that colt was protecting you or trying to stop you from going up the mountain?
I don't think so. It was more like beckoning me, if anything. Because if it didn't do that, I would never stopped at this particular place. I would have just kept going. But there were other things too with this ghost town. So I finally make it into the ghost town, and one of the first things you see, there's a cemetery at the base of the hill, and then you have to go up this hill about 2 miles. You got to hike in, and then it drops you off into this valley. And the first building you see is this right here, and this is actually an EVP, and hopefully you guys can hear this. I think that this building here was an office to the mine. And I have a bunch of dreams and things associated with this building for why I think that, but I'm not going to discuss that here. But this is the EVP I got from this. I want you to see if you can hear this. Do you hear it?
Go ahead, do it again.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard. Help us.
Does anyone in the audience hear that? Hi, Joe Fox.
Donna did. Donna heard it.
Did anyone else? I'll play it one more time and then I'll move on.
Heidi says she heard something but can't make it out. I can hear the help us.
This is what it looks like when you're standing up on a hill. This is one of the building ruins. So this kind of gives you an idea of how vast it is. This is part of the mine right here.
Now, was that a gold mine, right?
Yes. Yep, it was a gold mine. And it's about 8,000 feet up. into the mountains. So it's quite a ways up. This is what's left of that valley. You can see some of the stone structures and things just laying around on the hillside. This is another view of the mine itself. And this is kind of what it used to look like. So this right here, that road, it used to look like this. Isn't that wild?
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you see they even have lines. Is that telephone lines? Joe Fox is
Yeah.
having off some place. And
yep, they had running power up there. He sure did.
That's crazy.
The only thing this town did not have. What was that?
What year was this picture taken? What year?
Oh, like 1906.
Okay.
Yep, this was 1906. The only thing that this town did not have was running water. And where that Joshua tree is, there's a spring. And so what they were doing was they had a mule train that they would carry the water up over the hill, up over the mountain. So that's how they were getting water. So if you think how far that is, down in this valley is where that spring is. And they had a mule train that was hiking it all the way up to this town.
Interesting.
So.
But if I travel 8,000 feet, right, I'd be out of breath and shit. I'd honest to God would have to take four-wheeler up or not hiking, man. That'd be crazy. This is pretty cool. Is that like the Last Supper there?
That is. It's an artist this is in Rhyolite. This is an artist that created these statues out in the desert. And I don't know, I did a whole photography show out of these things. I was just so taken by it. But it is under dispute because he built it right over a archaeological dig. Yes, those dolls were really close to the spring. And actually the spring, it was only a couple feet from it where it was. Joe Fox says, great place to metal detect. Yes, it is. I haven't found any coins or anything though yet. I've been looking. So, yeah, that's one of the ghost towns I was going to discuss. So the next place, it's called Soda Springs. And I just happened on this place by accident. So Soda Springs, it's not a ghost town, but it was, it's kind of interesting place. So it's right off of I-15 in between Las Vegas and LA. So when you're traveling, it's about a 4-hour drive into just nothingness, basically. So the place is called Resides, and it's on Soda Lake. It's an old dry lake bed. And so it's really strange. In the 1940s, this guy had come across this site as part of the old Spanish Trail. And so the lake bed used to fill up with water, and there's some springs on that site, but it's warm water. So you can create like hot springs and things like that. Well, this guy in the 1940s, his name is Curtis Springer. He was an old radio evangelist and self-proclaimed doctor. And so he founded this place. And what he did was, in Nevada, there's a law, or California and Nevada, there's a law that if you stake a claim to dig for minerals or gold or silver, technically you can have that piece of land for X amount of time in order to mine it. That was the sole purpose. Well, this guy, he makes a claim. He doesn't mine it. What he does is he creates his Zizix Mineral Springs and Health Spa. So he chooses the name Zizix because he wanted it to be the last word in the English language, which right there tells you how weird this guy really is. But he starts marketing. He starts marketing the mineral water as healing claims. And so in the 1940s, if you can think about if you had tuberculosis or something like that, that was really common back then, you would have went to one of those TB hospitals, right? So family members, they didn't want their loved ones going to a place like that. So they would send them to this guy, in which he would try to treat them with this healing water. A lot of them, there's a lot of claims about people disappearing. Their loved ones completely disappeared after this. You never heard from them again. And then Curtis would write to them and say, oh, they passed away, unfortunately. And that was the end of it. So there's a lot of speculation about this guy killing people. Like, there's not enough records to actually convict him or say that he was doing that, but there's a lot of speculation that he may have been doing this sort of thing and taking their money. So this guy, he built an entire resort, though, and now it's in ruins. There's nobody there except for a university uses it for like archaeological digs and things like that.
Joe Fox has a question for you, buddy.
What's the question?
I have quite a few books on the Peralta stones. Have you ever been out that way?
No, I haven't. I have not. Whoa, that guy sounds pretty... Yeah, he was. So I did have permission to go on the property, and it was solely to get pictures and things like that. And this is kind of what it looks like. It's a really pretty place. Of course, the palm trees are from his spa. This is like a natural spring-filled fountain that he built. This kind of looks like, this is what it looks like when you walk around it. That's part of the building in the back. He named the streets, those little dirt paths, Boulevard of Dreams and Castle Way, and things that were supposed to be upbeat. So that's a picture of his natural, like this was a pool or something that people would step into. This right here is one of the outbuildings. This is one of the dormitories of the place. This is where the sick people would have been, and it's quite a ways from the rest of the site. So you have to walk back in there along the lake to get to it. And it's like this place, I've gotten several EVPs from this place that all say, help me. It's really kind of sad. This is what it looks like in the distance. But yeah, that's Soda Springs.
That's crazy, man. That a lot of chemtrails out there.
Okay, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. I don't really believe in chemtrails.
What, chemtrails?
Yeah, I think it's just planes. We have a lot of flight activity out here, and I think that's what's causing those streaks. It's just fuel.
Okay.
Do you believe in chemtrails?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Yes, I do. Well, I didn't believe, honestly, it's just like you, even before I started podcasting, I just thought it was, smoke from the back of the plane.
And that's what I think it is.
But I just would listen to everybody who did believe in them, okay, and who talked about them, and then I did my research on them, okay. Yes.
They admitted it?
They admitted it. They have planes, contrails. That's right, Nish. And they have planes up there that just have these like boxes and shit, and then they release these chemtrails. Look at the snow. I did a show on the snow the other day, a couple of weeks ago, and I called fake snow. And we had a lot of fake snow going on here. It looks like tiny little styrofoam balls. Okay, not snow. It was something different. And the company, the government does not say that they do this, but there are different parts of the government that actually admitted that they do seed the clouds and stuff that makes this snow fake. Yes.
Okay, so I can believe it if they're trying to
Heidi
manipulate
says,
weather in some way.
yeah, they seed clouds, hon. And Heidi says seed clouding is absolutely real. It is. That's how they make it rain. What they do is they make, they make clouds, right?
No.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do make clouds. I'm trying to think of where it's at. They actually make clouds. There's a machine that makes clouds. And what they do is when they make the cloud, they put some type of, it's the wrong word, but like crystals in there or something. I something, and it makes it rain.
So how come they're not using it in places that are really dry, if they could do that?
I guess because the frequency clouds. I never heard of that one before. Yeah, no. I'm serious. After the show or whatever, man, look into it. Go ahead, talk about it, and I'll look it up here on my great AI tool right here in my phone.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I just never been a big believer.
Clouds?
I've never been a big believer in chemtrails. Never, and it's because I just don't believe that the government would want to poison the entire U.S. like that. Like, what would the reasoning be?
Because it's the government machine. Cloud seeding, these are primary technologies used to enhance precipitation by releasing silver iodine or dry ice into the clouds. A cloud seeding agent, the most common agent used to seed clouds is silver iodide, AG1 or AGI, which helps ice particles grow. Research cloud machines in specialized labs, such as NASA's Glenn Research Center, engineers used equipment to simulate cloud formations for icing research. Yeah. Then the Cloudbuster, a device developed by Wilhelm Reich, claiming to create rain by manipulating orgone energy. It is not recognized by mainstream science. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did that question come from this?
I had a hard time believing that myself when I first started.
Was that question from this photo?
No, I just looked it up on AI about cloud seeding.
No, but I mean, the original question, did it come from this photo that I was showing?
Yeah, I do believe so. I believe so. I don't know. That's how I randomly just looked at it. Now, see, to me, when I look at them clouds up there, did any planes go? Hillbilly Herb says, not sure what to think, but it's definitely strange when I see them laying grid works and totally clouding out a clear day.
I mean, I guess it could be kind of weird in the desert, particularly where I'm at, to have something like this. But I don't know. See, I just don't believe that the government would poison its entire country when they want taxes and other things like that. It's just hard for me to believe that.
Well, and that's okay. I respect that. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not, I'm just saying what my opinion is on the thing. And it's hard to believe. Like when I first started hearing about that, I had a hard time believing in it. I really, really did, And so it's like they got their hand. And what I wanted to say was, back here in Pittsburgh, that last big snowstorm we had, right? Okay. Never, never, never have I been through like 10 days of -0 coldness. Okay? Never. They manipulate the weather too, CL. And they blame it on the nor'easter or whatever the hell's coming in. But
Well, see, that's the other thing. Like, I don't believe in El Nino either, because that happens every year, it seems like.
But this past big storm we had in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, okay, Joe Fox says right. Now, I'm telling you, this big ass snowstorm we had a couple weeks ago, and how cold it was. Okay, I have no, and this is my opinion only, is that it was man-made. It was deliberately set to make it like that. And the reasons behind it, I don't know why. But it was a weird kind of snow, and it was a weird kind of cold. Every morning for 10 days, it was -7, -5, -3. And you know as well, CL, that it never got that cold up in this area. Never.
No, it did that when I was a kid. There was a time that it did that, because I played out in it every single day as a young kid and was building like little forts and all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, the snow, but it was never in the minus below zero. It was never below zero.
The wind chill factor was.
Yeah, but that wasn't the will to. It wasn't the wind chill factor, sweetie.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Actually, the temperature. Wind chill made it like -14, -15. Getting up in the morning to go to work and it's 15 below zero. Never in my entire life have I ever done that before. You know. No. Yeah. There's a lot of things out there that really blew my mind. When they, I think the thing is called DARPA. I think it's DARPA. If anybody out there want to correct me, I know DARPA has something. I think it's DARPA. I'm not sure. Yeah, hold on. Defense. No, it's not DARPA, but I don't know what it is. But
Joe Fox says it is.
Shit out there.
I know. We were supposed to talk about the desert. And we started talking about chemtrails.
Well, we got into snow.
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Yeah,
sorry. I don't know, though.
Because this is how it works.
You know what? I do believe the shot. I do believe that. I'm not going to say it on air here because I don't want to start getting...
No, you're going to get Big Brother.
Yeah, I don't want Big Brother doing anything to this or anything, but I do believe what we talked about before. That I do.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think I popped off my screen just popped off like 10 or 12 times on my show before I came over here. So tell me, what I would like to ask you a question on your journeys going out into the desert. Besides the dolls, anything else strange happening, or did you catch Cocobello? Did you catch cryptids? Did you catch anything, something like that?
I have. So I did an investigation last year with a group of people, and we were out with one of those, what they call, is it an SLS camera? It's the one with the stick figures.
SLS, yeah.
Yeah. So we had one of those, and I could tell you who it is. I was with the Horns. They're known for making paranormal equipment and things. And we went out, and there's a place that I know. Again, it's along the Spanish Trail, so there's a spring there, and the Armagosa River runs underneath it. So there's a lot of water in that particular area. There's an orchard that was started by a Chinese guy, who he was part of the railroad. He's one of the workers. He broke away. He started a date farm out there. And so there's a bunch of date trees out there that are like over 100 years old. But this little area, we go out with that camera and we caught what looks like a giant, I mean, this thing was like stood 6 feet over the person that we have in the video. And it looks like a praying mantis. So it's like this giant bug looking thing. And when you talk to Native Americans, that is a thing out here, is giant bugs in the area like that, like spirit bugs. So that was one of the things. But there is a theory about the property because the governor at the time ended up taking over that farm. And the Chinese guy who owned that farm disappears, and we think that he might have gotten killed. Like there's historical documents and stuff that kind of suggests he may have gotten killed just so that the state can overtake the farm. So that's why we were investigating it.
And what kind of evidence did you come up? Anything good besides that big, tall praying mantis?
We didn't really have a lot of time to investigate. That is something that we're still doing. So I can't talk a lot about that, but we did get a couple of EVPs. We caught that bug thing. More significant is the bug thing. The area is known for Native American. I don't know what they would do there. It was like the base of their civilization basically was in this little area. It's just really interesting historically.
What other interesting things did you find out in the desert besides the stones, the turquoise?
I do have a lot of EVPs. I could show you this. So there's this cabin. Let's see here. Can you see it?
Yeah. The thing around the trees.
All right. So this cabin is.
Okay, now I see it.
It's it's a little ways out, but it's just there by itself. Again, it's around Goldfield. It's about maybe an hour outside of Goldfield. And there's a couple other little structures up there. So I hiked up to that far one up there and actually went inside of it. And this was in there.
Oh my God, I used to play that when I was a kid.
It's just there in the building.
Bumper pull. It was called bumper pull.
So when I was in there though, right away I caught this feeling of somebody just kind of watching over you. And it was like an uneasy feeling, like you're not wanted there kind of thing. And I got an EVP. Did you hear it?
No.
He kind of pronounces out. Did you hear it that time?
Get out of here.
Yeah. He says, get out.
I heard that.
And he pronounces out like.
But Joe has a good point. Yeah. Joe has a good point. He says that most deserts are covered in ley lines. And ley lines are very important when it comes to the paranormal. And
because of the energy of things.
Maybe get out. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely get out. But he says out. Like he's really angry that I'm even in that space. Mm-hmm. But the feeling I got when I was in there, kind of backs up that EVP, because it was a very uneasy feeling just being in that area, to where I kept looking over my shoulder going, is there somebody else that's coming, with a shotgun or something? Is this private land? It's not, it's BML land, but you just never know out that way.
Did you hear the voice before you got the EVP?
No.
Did you hear it? No?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Joe says he's envious of you. I am too, because he got all that turquoise out there, Joe Fox, and she won't share.
He's so hung up on the turquoise.
I am. So is Joe. He likes turquoise too.
Well, it's not all haunted stuff that you come across out here, though. There are some kind of strange roadside attractions. So this next place, that's what this is. It's a guy who built this little side attraction back in 2017. Now it's closed it was supposed to be open to the public, but it's closed. So I don't know what happened to him. But he has Wild Bill's train car in there, where he and the Rifle Annie, who was that Annie lady?
Annie Oakley.
Yes. They would travel around the country. Well, the train is actually on this property from that he would travel around in his wild show or whatever that was. But he built a Stonehenge out there. And this is what it looks like. It's like this big, giant, round structure.
Now, see, to me, I look at Stonehenge, right, and I see all the Stonehenges out there, the real ones and stuff. Now, to me, that's too perfect of a Stonehenge.
Well, he built it like that to get in touch with like aliens and things like that. That was the sole purpose. Like, he even has aliens on the top of it and everything.
Okay. That's a strange person. That's strange to do that. But still, look, can you imagine how much money that cost to build that thing?
I was just talking with a friend about that. There's another guy who he was a lawyer here in the 1930s, and he actually spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this little remote canyon that he built. He wanted to create it's called Cathedral Canyon. He spent thousands of dollars building like a road to it, and he had he had a spring filtering into it so that it could have like a waterfall and all of this stuff. There was a bridge that went across it, so you can walk from one side to the other, like one of those drawbridges.
Mm-hmm.
Huge amounts of money put into this thing, because he says that he got ill to the point where he almost died, and he had a vision from God to build this canyon. And so he wanted to build it in order to make this giant outdoor church. And it's right outside. It's like in the middle of the desert, but it's nothing but ruins now. But he spent all this money doing that. And as soon as he died, the desert just takes it over pretty much. We were just talking about that, though. This guy, same thing. He spent millions of dollars on this stuff, and now it's sitting abandoned. The property's not in use, so I don't know. The same thing's going to happen. It's just going to go to ruins, basically. But yeah,
well,
it's
looks like it's structurally sound, though.
Well, because he just built it in 2017, but wait like 10 years,
Yeah, that's true. That's just like too perfect.
Yeah, that's what it looks like now, but it's closed. There's nobody there. So.
Oh, that's cool. Go back one picture.
What, this?
No, next one. With like the cabin, there.
Oh, that's another story I was going to tell.
Okay.
That is called Horse Thief Ranch.
Huh.
And that one, it took a while for me to find that one. A couple friends and I, we had to hike a couple times to actually locate this place. It's tucked way up in the mountains. It's very hard to get to it. It's up in the Kingston mountain range. But this place is made, this cabin is from 1860s. Let me go. And this is the road that goes to it. It's kind of what it looks like on your traveling up. But yeah, so
what happens when you run out of gas?
Well, they used horse and buggy back then.
No, I'm talking about now. When we go up, whenever you go up and you run out of gas, what do you do?
I'm very careful not to, and usually I have an extra can with me, and I also carry a satellite phone in case something happens. Yeah, I'm very well prepared.
All right, good.
When I go out. I have a satellite phone. I have extra water. I have a pistol with me just in case. You never know who you're going to run across. I have all the devices to pull your car out if you get stuck. Food.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can understand that. It's like the Old West, but in the 21st century there.
Yeah.
A car.
I tell you, the first time I went out there was Delamar. I didn't have a satellite phone then. I didn't have extra water. I didn't realize what altitude sickness was. And of course, my car got stuck. No joke. My car got stuck in the sand there. Couldn't call for anyone. I cried for probably 2 hours until I figured out, I was looking at the structures, and it was like a bunch of wooden boards from where they built, it must have been like a roof or something over one of the structures. I took one of those boards and dug the tire out with it and then wedged it under the tire to get it out, and it worked. But yeah, it was a huge, huge learning experience for me. Now I don't go out unless I'm really well prepared.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
You know what? A little off subject here. Do you know why they put car mats in cars? Don't you?
No. Why do they do that?
So in case whenever you get stuck, you can use the car mats to get yourself out. I read up on that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I would have never even thought about that.
Me neither until I read it, and I'm like, dang.
Joe Fox says you can use an ATV. You could, but the problem is hauling it out that far. I mean, these are really far locations. You can't just ride an ATV up to them.
I think it'd be pretty cool if you took a horseback riding out there. Carrying all your equipment on a horseback. Get a mule on a horseback.
You could.
Oh, Hillbilly says, dang, Sean, never thought of that. Yeah, I didn't either until I read about it, that they are used to get your car out of being stuck.
Is that a true thing? You're just telling me all kinds of stuff tonight.
I read it on the internet.
It must be true, dang it.
But yeah, no lie. I mean, think about it, especially when you're here in Pittsburgh, man. You know the weather. You got a car mat. It's going to get destroyed when winter comes. You know that.
Do you just buy one every year? You go through car mats?
No, I got those ones where they snap down, and they're really cool, man. All you do is pull them out and rinse them off with water and put them back in again. I forget the name of the company, but we're not affiliated with the company, so I don't think we're allowed to say the company's name. Yeah, I'm telling you all kinds of good stuff, huh?
I know. There's stuff I just never even. I'm going to think about that next time I ever get stuck again, which I'm pretty well prepared. I don't think that's going to happen.
Car mat sure beats a banana peel. That's true, Hillbilly. That's true. Oh, yes. But, yeah, I find that fascinating.
Well, I think I'm just about out of stories. I was going to tell you about Horse Thief Camp, but I think we're out of time.
Well, you save that for another day.
Yeah, I'll save that for another night.
And Miss Ciel, you did an awesome job tonight. You did a very good job tonight. You did. I didn't do nothing.
Thank you for
I was just
helping
here.
me out, Sean.
Oh, listen, anytime. That's what friends are for, correct? Is that what it is?
And thank you, all you listeners, for coming on and helping. I appreciate it.
Yep, Joe Fox said awesome show. And it was.
So do you guys
awesome.
like this?
Indeed.
Should I come on here and
Look
just
at this.
tell
Heidi
stories?
says, indeed, you did it amazing. You did amazing, Ciel, and you did.
Oh, thank you, Heidi. So do you guys, honestly, do you want me to come on here every now and then and just have open lines and just tell stories of my travels? Is that something that yay or
I'm
nay?
mentally telepathying that to everybody here. You know, that, yeah.
Heidi
Yeah,
says,
see, Heidi said yes. Yes. Yes.
see, I never know what to do.
Joe says yes. Just, even Joe Fox said yes.
Or I could teach something. I could teach, I don't know what. Something on mediumship, I guess.
By all means. You know what? We just got to show you love, man. You got to show you love. You know? It's not all about time. It's not all about the guest. It's all about.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I would like to change it up a little bit, you know, and get away from relying on having guests every single week.
Yeah, just come on out and do what you did tonight. It was great. It was awesome. You did a fantastic job. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Well, thank you all for listening. You've been listening to the Gateway Podcast live from United Public Radio Network 107.7 FM New Orleans. Don't forget, after this show is... Shoot, I forget the name of the show. Where is it?
Heidi, what's the name of the show? Whenever I forget a show, Heidi. Miss, good to see you. Hillbilly's always happy to learn more about mediumship. That's cool. Paratruth Radio.
With Eric and Justin.
You, Heidi.
So stay tuned. Thank you all and have a great night.
Good night, everybody. Good night.